Are you ready for some big news this month? If you're a Social Security, SSI, or SSDI recipient, you won't want to miss this. In today's update, we're breaking down the exact August 2025 payment dates, plus revealing hidden bonus benefits that many seniors and disabled Americans might not even know they qualify for. Whether you're budgeting for the month or just trying to stay informed, this update could make a real difference in your wallet. Let's get into the details. You might be in for a surprise. Let's start with the biggest news that everyone's been waiting for, the exact payment dates for August 2025. I know how crucial this information is for planning your monthly budget, especially with inflation still affecting our daily lives. The Social Security Administration has just released the official schedule, and I've got all the details right here. But stick around, because after we cover the payment dates, I'm going to reveal some game-changing bonus benefits that could significantly increase your monthly check. For those of you who receive your benefits based on your birth date, here's what you need to know. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of the month, your payment will hit your account on Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. For birthdays between the 11th and 20th, expect your payment on Wednesday, August 20th. And if your birthday is between the 21st and 31st, your payment will arrive on Wednesday, August 27th. But here's something interesting. Due to a new processing system implemented last month, some recipients are reporting getting their deposits up to 24 hours earlier than scheduled. I'll explain why this is happening and how you might be able to take advantage of it. Now, for those receiving Supplemental Security Income, SSI, your payment will arrive on Friday, August 1st, 2025. And if you're one of the many Americans who receive both SSI and regular Social Security benefits, you're in for some good news about how these payments are being coordinated now to maximize your financial planning opportunities. The Social Security Administration has made some interesting changes to their payment processing system that most people haven't noticed yet. Speaking of changes, let's talk about the cost of living adjustment, COLA, that's been making headlines. While the official announcement for 2026 COLA won't come until October, I've been analyzing the Consumer Price Index data, and I've noticed some patterns that might give us a pretty good idea of what to expect. Based on the current inflation trends and economic indicators, we could be looking at a COLA between 2.8% and 3.2% for 2026. This might seem lower than previous years, but there's actually a silver lining here that could work in your favor, especially when combined with some of the other benefits I'm about to share. Remember how I mentioned hidden bonus benefits earlier? Well, this is where things get really interesting. The Social Security Administration has quietly rolled out several new programs and benefits that they haven't really advertised. I spent hours digging through their latest policy updates and guidelines, and what I found could be a game changer for many of you. First up is the Enhanced Earnings Credit Program. If you worked during the pandemic years, 2020-2022, there's a special provision that might allow you to recalculate your benefits based on adjusted earnings figures. This is particularly important because many people experienced income fluctuations during those years, and this program could help boost your monthly payment. The best part? You don't need to hire anyone to help you claim this. I'll show you exactly how to do it yourself. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Remember my neighbor Martha, who I mentioned earlier? When I told her about the caregiver credit benefit, she almost fell out of her chair. If you've ever taken time off work to care for a family member, whether it was during the pandemic or any other time, you might be eligible for credits that could increase your Social Security benefits. This is especially relevant for women who often bear the burden of family caregiving and see their Social Security benefits reduced as a result. Now, here's something that's flying completely under the radar: the new supplemental benefit for long-term residents. If you've lived in the same state for more than 20 years and meet certain income requirements, you might be eligible for an additional monthly payment. This was introduced as part of a broader initiative to support community stability, but very few people know about it. The qualification criteria are quite specific, but don't worry, I'll break it all down for you. Let's talk about Medicare for a moment, because there's an important connection here that affects your Social Security benefits. The recent changes to Medicare Part B premiums have created an interesting opportunity for Social Security recipients. Due to some adjustments in how these premiums are calculated and deducted from your Social Security payments, some beneficiaries might see an unexpected increase in their net benefit amount. I'll explain exactly how this works and who stands to benefit the most. Here's something that really gets me excited: the new digital services portal that the Social Security Administration launched last month. Now, I know what you're thinking: another government website, right? But trust me, this one is different. They've finally modernized their system, and it's actually user-friendly. More importantly, it gives you access to some features that could help you maximize your benefits. I'll show you how to navigate it and where to find the hidden features that most people miss. Speaking of maximizing benefits, let's discuss the new rules about working while receiving Social Security. The earnings limits have been adjusted, and there's now more flexibility in how you can combine work income with your benefits. This is particularly relevant for those of you who aren't quite ready to fully retire but want to start receiving some benefits. The new regulations actually make it easier to find that sweet spot where you can earn additional income without losing your benefits. Now, here's a strategy that very few financial advisors talk about: the split benefit option. For married couples, there are now more ways to coordinate your benefits to maximize your household income. The Social Security Administration has introduced some new flexibility in how spouses can time and structure their benefit claims. This could mean thousands of extra dollars per year for some couples, but it requires careful planning and understanding of the new rules. Let's dive into something that might affect many of you: the changes in how Social Security treats different types of income. There have been some important updates to what counts as earnings for benefit calculations. For example, if you've been earning money from the gig economy or digital platforms, there are new guidelines about how this income is treated. This could be particularly relevant for those of you who've been supplementing your retirement income with part-time work through apps or online platforms. Here's an interesting development that's particularly relevant for international residents: the new cross-border payment system. If you spend part of your year outside the United States or have family members who live abroad, there are new provisions that make it easier to manage and receive your benefits internationally. The Social Security Administration has partnered with more foreign banks and financial institutions, potentially reducing transfer fees and improving payment reliability. Now, let's talk about something that could affect your children or grandchildren: the new education benefit supplement. If you're receiving Social Security benefits and have dependent children who are students, there are new provisions that might provide additional support for their education. This isn't just limited to college students, it can also apply to vocational training in certain types of certification programs. Here's a crucial update about identity protection: the Social Security Administration has implemented new security measures to protect beneficiaries from fraud. While this is generally good news, it's important to understand how these changes might affect how you access and manage your benefits. There are some simple steps you need to take to ensure you don't experience any interruptions in your payments, and I'll walk you through exactly what you need to do. Let's discuss the new emergency advance payment option that was quietly introduced last month. Under certain circumstances, beneficiaries can now request an advance on their payments. This isn't widely known, but it could be a lifesaver in emergency situations. There are specific criteria you need to meet, and I'll explain exactly how this works and how to apply if you need it. Here's something that could affect those of you with pension income: the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and Government Pension Offset, GPO, have undergone some modifications. These changes could mean higher benefits for some people who previously saw their Social Security reduced due to pension income. The calculations are a bit complex, but I'll break it down into simple terms that anyone can understand. Now, let me share a personal story that illustrates why staying informed about these changes is so important. Last week, I helped my uncle review his benefits, and we discovered he was eligible for retroactive payments due to a recent policy change. He ended up receiving a substantial back payment that he would have missed entirely if we hadn't looked into it. This is why I'm so passionate about sharing this information with all of you. Let's talk about the new online tools that the Social Security Administration has developed to help you estimate and plan your benefits. These tools are much more sophisticated than the old calculators, taking into account recent policy changes and allowing for more detailed scenarios. I'll show you how to use these tools to make sure you're maximizing your benefits based on your specific situation. Here's something exciting for those of you interested in sustainable living: the new Green Initiative credits. If you've made certain energy-efficient improvements to your home or purchased an electric vehicle, you might be eligible for additional credits that could affect your Social Security benefits. This is part of a broader government initiative to promote sustainable living, and it's worth looking into even if you're already receiving benefits. As we wrap up, I want to address some common questions I've been getting about the future of Social Security. There's been a lot of speculation about the program's long-term stability, but I've analyzed the latest trust fund reports and policy proposals, and I can give you a clear picture of what to expect in the coming years. The news is actually more positive than many people think, especially with some of the funding reforms that have been implemented. Before we end, I want to remind you about 3 immediate actions you should take to make sure you're not missing out on any benefits. First, log into your Social Security account and review your current benefit statement. Second, check if you qualify for any of the new supplemental benefits we discussed. And third, mark your calendar with the payment dates we covered at the beginning of this video. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to Social Security benefits. The system is complex, and it's constantly evolving, but staying informed can literally put more money in your pocket. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. I'm always monitoring the latest changes and developments in Social Security benefits.